Welcome to my views and news. Three news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, another attack on Ethiopia-Sudan border is being reported from Amhara region. Around 24 hours ago, PMRB denied any attack on Sudanese territories from Ethiopian territories, but small-scale attacks are happening. Is Ethiopian army part of this escalation on border? Which groups attacked the Sudanese territory, which happened last night reportedly? Secondly, Tigray Orthodox Church has rejected another effort of mediation, another reconciliatory effort from Ethiopian Orthodox Church. A top delegation from the Orthodox Church was due to arrive in Mekelle on Thursday. 3 days ago, I did a video on the likely arrival of this delegation in Mekelle. Derato Tulo was one of the mammal delegation. What happened? Why is the delegation could not arrive in Mekelle reportedly? And thirdly, a protest was carried out by Somalis living abroad, Somalis of Ethiopia who are protesting against the killing of two Somalis at the hands of Ethiopian army in the Somali region of Ethiopia. Firstly, viewers, while Sudan war is ongoing, things are heating up on Sudan-Ethiopia border. PMRB 24 hours ago released a message in Arabic saying that some forces were trying to drive a wedge between brothers of Ethiopia and Sudan. Some forces were trying to exploit Sudan war for political interests. He said that Ethiopian forces did not enter Sudanese territories. False claims were being made. And PMRB had to issue this statement after reports from several sources, including some Sudanese sources, that Ethiopian forces had tried to enter Al-Fashaga, the disputed strip of fertile land on Sudan-Ethiopia border. Most sources reported back then that the attack was carried out by Amhara forces, Amhara militias, not by Ethiopian military. Now, another attack on Ethiopia-Sudan border, not reported by most sources. I got this information from the ground. Small-scale attack. It happened near Metimma, reportedly. Here, some farmhouses, agricultural farms have been taken over by Amhara forces, Amhara farmers. These two agricultural farms, farm number 2 and 3 in the Lalo, was under Sudanese farmers, Sudanese army's control reportedly. Last night, Amhara farmers, Amhara militia members, they entered the Lalo and they took over these two farms. Armed militia members from Ethiopian territories entered Sudan. Where is Ethiopian National Defense Force? Ethiopian National Defense Force was not part of this escalation. And I said around 24 hours ago in the video on PMRB statement that it would be difficult for Ethiopian National Defense Force to man the entire Sudan-Ethiopia border. And that is what seems to be happening. Ethiopian army maybe does not want a new escalation on border because it is focused on the filling of the dam good, the filling going to start in coming days. And the government does not want Egypt to gain a foothold in Sudan. If situation deteriorates on Ethiopia-Sudan border, it will be conducive to Egyptian intentions to have military presence and increased presence in Sudan. That is why Ethiopian federal government is avoiding any confrontation on border. It says it has border dispute with Sudan, but it wants to resolve the issue through dialogue. But Amhara forces, Amhara militia members, farmers, they claim that Al-Fashaga is Ethiopian territory, that it was inhabited, it was cultivated by farmers from the Amhara region, from Ethiopia, but Sudanese forces seized Al-Fashaga by force in 2021 when war was ongoing in northern Ethiopia. So they want to take back Al-Fashaga. So Ethiopian army will have to man the entire border. It will have to keep Amhara militias, Amhara forces in check. Otherwise, we could see continuation of these small-scale attacks. These are so far small-scale attacks. Militia members are not armed with tanks, artillery pieces, MLRS. They're just armed with small arms, and they're trying to take control of small areas. But if these attacks from the Amhara region are not checked, we could see large-scale attacks from the Amhara region on Sudanese territories. Secondly, viewers, Tigray has rejected another reconciliatory move from Ethiopian Orthodox Church. We know that Tigray Orthodox Church established Menbris Lama Prime Church, Tigray Prime Church last year, a regional sort of autonomous religious structure. Tigray did not split completely with Orthodox Church, but it was on its way to split. It announced the seat of Holy Synod, and budget for Tigray Orthodox Church was suspended, Orthodox Church, after the war started in Tigray. Salaries of some Tigray archbishops were suspended too. Now, Orthodox Church wants to reconcile with Tigray Church. It is offering to restore budget for Tigray. It is offering to restore salaries of Tigray archbishops. But Tigray is resisting the attempt of Orthodox Church of reconciliation. Tigray says Orthodox Church leaders blessed the war on Tigray. Abune Abraham, Abune Petros, other archbishops, they were supporters of the war and genocide of Tigray. That Tigray bishops, Tigray churches were attacked by Ethiopian forces. The Ethiopian military was blessed by Orthodox Church. That is what Tigray's position is. Orthodox Church has sent some letters to Tigray Orthodox Church calling for reconciliation, offering to release funds, etc. Yesterday, a delegation appointed by Ethiopian Orthodox Church was due to arrive in Mekelle. Almost a week ago, the church general manager wrote a letter to the hotel where the delegation was due to stay, asking the hotel to make arrangements for the lodging, etc. The delegation consisted of church elders and some other notables, including Derarto Tulo, Athletics Federation of Ethiopia's president, who is very warmly welcomed in Tigray. She was warmly received in Tigray when she led a delegation of Ethiopian athletes, including Tigray athletes, on a visit to Tigray a few weeks ago. The delegation could not arrive in Mekelle. Today, the church confirmed that the delegation has postponed its visit to Tigray. Now, a new committee has been formed which will work on efforts of reconciliation between Tigray Orthodox Church and the main church led by Abune Matthias. It means that Tigray is resisting the reconciliatory moves of the Orthodox Church. It does not want to reconcile so far. What are Tigray's demands? Does Tigray Orthodox Church want to remain independent? Or does it have some demands like release of budget, like release of salaries? Orthodox Church is ready to release budget and to restore salaries. It means Tigray's demands are many more. Or Tigray wants to remain independent. Tigray wants maybe a formal apology from Orthodox Church. Whatever the complaints of the Tigray Church are, so far no signs of reconciliation. Orthodox Church wrote a letter to Tigray interim government led by Getachew a few weeks ago, asking the Tigray interim president to intervene in the resolution of the problem between the two sides. So far, the delegation has postponed its visit to Mekelle reportedly. Thirdly, viewers, Somali diaspora is protesting against Ethiopian army. It was it was more than a month ago when two Somalis were killed by Ethiopian army in Aisha town on Ethiopia-Djibouti border in the Somali region. People are protesting there on Somali region, Deir Dewa Road, on Ethiopia-Djibouti Road. They were protesting against alleged backing by Ethiopian army. That Ethiopian army was backing Afar militias. Afar militias were entering Somali region's territories. Two main roads were blocked. Ethiopian army intervened. It dispersed protesters and it opened fire. Two were killed there. Somali diaspora is protesting in support of these youth who were killed there. The names are Abdi and Bo. Abdi and Bo were killed at the hands of Ethiopian army. A protest was held in Ottawa, Canada 2 days ago where people were displaying banners, placards against Ethiopian National Defense Force in support of the two killed Somali region youth. So you see that whenever there is an issue, a problem in Ethiopia, diaspora tries to internationalize the issue. We have seen Tigrayans protest in US, Canada, Europe. Amharas protesting these days, Oromos as well, now Somalis. Why? Because maybe in Ethiopia, there are not effective conflict resolution and accountability mechanisms. That is why people have to protest outside Ethiopia, but nothing happens in terms of accountability. Thank you for watching.